Welcome to Dive Zone, your space to go deeper into English, one episode at a time. If you're enjoying the journey, make sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss a deep dive into language learning.
Welcome to the deep dive. You know that feeling, right?
Yeah.
You really want to learn something, maybe English, but just thinking about cracking open a textbook makes you kind of want to run away.
Oh, definitely. I think a lot of people feel that.
Yeah, me too. So today we're tackling that head on. We've got this, really interesting perspective here. A guide suggesting maybe those super intense study methods, maybe they aren't the only way.
Or even the best way, perhaps. It's looking at a different approach, one that gets that you might be busy or just tired of feeling like you should be studying all the time.
Exactly. It asks, what if learning English could actually fit into your life, without feeling like just another item on that endless to-do list? Because let's be honest, the thought of hours of grammar drills, vocabulary lists, it can feel pretty overwhelming.
Totally.
So our mission today really is to explore this guide. It basically says, hey, it's okay to want this to feel easier. We're digging into strategies that are actionable, sustainable, maybe even enjoyable.
And central to this whole thing is a really interesting reframing of the word lazy.
Okay.
It's not about being unproductive or like avoiding effort completely. It's presented more as, wanting efficiency. Finding a way to learn that doesn't feel like you're constantly pushing a rock uphill.
Right.
The guide actually puts it quite nicely. Lazy means I want to do it, but I want it to feel easy.
Okay, I'm intrigued by this lazy thing because, my first thought is still, can you really learn properly if you're being, lazy? Isn't some hard work just necessary?
That's a fair question.
Right.
And it really gets to the heart of it. What if feeling lazy about English isn't actually about lack of motivation?
What is it then?
Maybe it's a sign that the methods you've tried before just weren't right for you. They weren't sustainable or enjoyable. Maybe your brain is kind of resisting because learning English feels like stress or boredom.
That definitely rings a bell. I've started language apps all fired up only to, completely fizzle out after like a week.
Exactly. So this guide suggests a different starting point, something really, really simple.
Like what?
Rule number one is basically make English so easy, you just can't say no.
Okay.
Think about brushing your teeth. You do it for a couple of minutes, right? Not hours. But that small, consistent effort, it works.
Right, healthy teeth. Gotcha.
Same idea here. Instead of aiming for these huge, daunting study blocks,
Yeah.
aim for just, say, 5 or 10 minutes of enjoyable English every day.
So it's shifting that thought from, I have to study English to something more like, okay, I'm going to enjoy 5 minutes of English.
Exactly. It feels lighter, more appealing. And interestingly, the science backs this up. You actually learn more when you're relaxed.
Really? Why is that?
Well, stress hormones like cortisol, they actually interfere with memory formation. When you're relaxed, your brain is just more open, more receptive to taking things in.
That makes so much sense. I feel like my brain shuts down when I'm stressed.
Right. So think about those passive moments. Scrolling social media, see an English reel, watching Netflix with subtitles on, playing a video game that has English text.
Yeah.
Those moments count. They're low pressure. Your brain is absorbing stuff, even if you don't feel like you're actively studying. The goal is kind of make English this chill background vibe.
A chill background vibe. I like that. Okay, so small, enjoyable bits, relaxed mind. And the next point is about fitting it into your life, right? Not adding another huge commitment.
Precisely. We've all tried those rigid study schedules that just crash and burn after a week or two.
Guilty.
Yeah. So this guide says, be sneaky, be lazy smart. Weave English into things you're already doing.
Sneaky.
Yeah.
Lazy smart. Okay, examples.
Like maybe listen to an English podcast while you brush your teeth, or put on English songs while you get dressed or commute. Maybe repeat a few simple phrases while you're doing laundry, or even just narrate what you're doing in your head, in simple English, while cooking dinner.
Blending it in, not tacking it on.
Exactly. It's more about absorption, less about forceful studying. Which leads us to the next idea. Think about how babies learn.
Okay.
They don't use textbooks, right? They listen. They watch. They mimic what they hear around them. Constant exposure.
That's true. It's just soaking it up.
So the guide suggests simple actions based on that, like watch a short video, subtitles on, notice an interesting phrase,
Yeah.
pause it, say it out loud, maybe try saying it again tomorrow. It's about that repetition and exposure, but without the pressure of, instant perfection.
Right. Not feeling like you have to get it perfect immediately.
And initially, the focus should really be on input. That's rule number 5.
Input meaning.
Listening and reading. Building up that mental database, that sort of internal dictionary of words and phrases before you worry too much about output, which is speaking and writing.
Fill the tank before you try to pour anything out.
You got it. You need that foundation first. So all those clips, reels, funny videos, memes, song lyrics, that's all valuable input.
That's actually quite reassuring, because the speaking part can feel like the most intimidating.
It often is.
Yeah.
The idea here is that speaking becomes a more natural reaction later, once you have that base, rather than feeling like this forced performance right at the start.
Okay. And to keep that input going, rule 6 is key, right? Choose stuff you actually like.
Absolutely crucial. Don't force yourself to listen to, I don't know, dry financial news if that bores you to tears.
Please no.
Find stuff related to your interests. If you love K-pop, watch those fan interviews. If you're into baking, find English baking channels on YouTube. Love drama series. Watch them with English audio, maybe subtitles too.
It's like the ultimate lazy hack, isn't it? Learning while you're doing something you'd be doing anyway for fun.
Totally. Which connects nicely to rule 7. Don't memorize, notice.
Okay, explain that. Because memorizing lists is kind of the classic way, isn't it?
It is, but it's often really hard, and things don't always stick. Noticing is more organic.
How does that work in practice?
Find a short video clip, or maybe an article you genuinely enjoy. Watch it or read it a few times. Don't try to memorize every word. Just notice what words or phrases keep coming up.
You start to see patterns.
Exactly. And maybe say those repeated phrases out loud. When you encounter things repeatedly in a context that's actually interesting to you, they tend to stick much better. It's learning through familiarity, through feeling, not just rote memorization.
Okay, that feels more natural. Now, what about those days where you just have zero energy? We all have them.
Rule 8 covers that. It acknowledges energy fluctuates. It says, be passive on lazy days, active on energy days.
That's such a relief. I think there's so much guilt tied to feeling like you always have to be on.
Right. So on a low energy day, maybe just having some English music or a podcast playing in the background is enough. Just passive listening.
Okay.
Then on days you feel more up for it, you can do something more active. Try speaking a bit, maybe write a simple sentence, interact somehow.
It's like exercise, isn't it? Some days it's a walk, some days it's lifting weights.
Exactly. And it all counts. All progress is good progress.
Okay, I like that flexibility. Rule 9 is interesting too. Use English to escape, not to work.
Yeah, shifting that perspective. Instead of English being another chore.
Make it a refuge.
Kind of. Feeling stressed? Watch some English comedy. Bored? Listen to a gripping story or podcast in English. Feeling down? Maybe find an inspiring TED Talk.
Turning English into a friend, not just homework. That's a powerful reframe.
And the final core principle, number 10. Fall in love with the language, not just the rules.
So don't get too bogged down in grammar.
Exactly. Focusing only on grammar rules can honestly make a lot of people just quit. It feels dry, disconnected.
Yeah, I can see that.
Instead, try to appreciate the sounds of English, the rhythm, the personality. Listen to different accents. Try mimicking speakers you like. Play with expressions. Enjoy the humor in memes.
When you actually like the language itself.
That intrinsic motivation kicks in. It becomes less about forcing yourself and more about wanting to engage with it.
Okay, so those are the principles. Really shifts the mindset. Now, how do we actually put this lazy stuff into practice day to day? The guide had some concrete ideas.
Yeah, let's map out a potential lazy day. Morning, maybe you're still waking up. Low energy.
Definitely low energy for me.
So maybe listen to a short, like 5-minute English podcast while brushing your teeth. Or put on an English playlist while making coffee or getting dressed.
Okay.
Maybe quickly scroll a funny English meme account on your phone, or save one post. Tiny bits of exposure.
Right. Minimal effort. Then midday. Maybe a bit more energy.
Perhaps. You could watch a short YouTube video, something related to a hobby, maybe 10 minutes. Or listen to an English song and actually try to sing along.
Belting it out in the car counts.
Totally counts.
Fair.
Or if you need to Google something, try searching in English first. Maybe even just to have background noise like an English radio stream playing softly while you work or do chores. Medium effort stuff.
And evening. Winding down.
Lower energy again, probably. Watch an episode of a show, English audio, maybe subtitles in your language or English. Listen to a calming English sleep story or podcast. Read a short English comic strip.
It's all about these moments, isn't it? Not big blocks of time.
Exactly. Minutes, not hours. Consistency over intensity.
And there was that 5-minute check-in thing, too. Seemed almost too simple.
It does, but it's surprisingly powerful for memory. End of the day, just take like literally 5 minutes. Ask yourself, what's one thing I heard in English today?
Yep.
One word or phrase I noticed. And what's something English I might want to listen to or watch tomorrow?
So just quick recall and setting a small intention.
Yeah, it signals to your brain, hey, this English stuff is important, and it helps consolidate what you were passively exposed to. Creates a little memory loop.
I like that. Now, watching shows, you mentioned a lazy way to do that too. That sounds perfect for me.
Yeah. First, maybe pick shorter things, 5, 10, 15 minutes max, especially at first.
Yeah.
Dual subtitles. If you can get them English and your native language can be helpful.
Right.
Watch it once, just for fun. Just enjoy it. Don't stress about understanding everything.
Okay, easy enough.
Then maybe watch it again. This time, pause when you hear something interesting, a phrase you like. Repeat it out loud. Try to mimic the pronunciation, the intonation. It's active learning, but it feels like you're just playing with the show.
Active learning in disguise. I like it. What about that talking to yourself idea? Seems a bit weird.
It can feel strange initially,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have to be a full-blown monologue. Just mumble.
Mumble.
Yeah, like, okay, making coffee now. Need the filter. Just little things in English. Or have that internal chat with yourself in simple English.
What's the point of that?
It starts building that thinking in English muscle. Makes it feel less foreign inside your own head. Leads towards more automatic English thought over time. No pressure, just quiet practice.
Okay, maybe less weird than I thought. And vocabulary. That 3X method, how does that beat flashcards?
It's about context and repetition, not forced memorization. So, step 1. You notice a new word somewhere. Video, song, article, whatever.
Okay, noticed it.
Step 2. Later, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, you see or hear that same word again, but in a different situation.
Context number 2.
Right. Your brain goes, hey, I've seen that before. Then step 3, at some point you try to use it. Maybe just in your head, maybe whisper it, maybe actually say it.
So it's notice again, try.
Exactly. Learning through experience, through encountering it naturally. Much stickier than just drilling a list.
Makes sense. And for consistency, you mentioned triggers, not schedules.
Yeah, because sticking to rigid times, like 7 p.m. is English time, is hard. Life gets in the way.
Tell me about it.
So instead, link your tiny English habit to something you already do every day.
Like?
After I finish breakfast, I'll read one English news headline. Or, while the kettle boils, I'll review one phrase I learned. The existing habit becomes the reminder. Less willpower needed.
Habit stacking, basically. Smart. And leveraging micro moments, those tiny bits of time.
Absolutely critical for the lazy approach. Waiting for the bus, waiting for a download, the 2 minutes before a meeting.
What can you even do in 2 minutes?
Read one tweet in English. Repeat a phrase out loud 5 times. Say good afternoon to yourself in English. Listen to 30 seconds of an English song. These tiny things add up massively over weeks and months.
A cumulative effect. Okay, but what happens when you feel stuck, like totally blocked?
It happens to everyone. First, be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up.
Easier said than done sometimes.
True. But try this. Go back to something fun and easy. Rewatch a favorite clip. Listen to a song you love. Remind yourself why you enjoy English.
Lower the pressure.
Exactly. Maybe even take a day off, active stuff. Just have English background noise. And trust the process. Progress isn't always visible day to day, until suddenly it is.
Progress is invisible until it isn't. I like that. Okay, social media. Using that as a teacher.
Yeah, turn that scrolling time into learning time. Follow creators who make short, interesting content in English. Save posts or reels you find cool. Even just commenting with an emoji or a single word on an English post is tiny practice. Turn on English captions whenever possible.
So you're absorbing English while doing what you'd probably be doing anyway.
Pretty much. Passive learning goldmine.
And gamifying it, making it a game.
Just adds a layer of fun. Little challenges. Can I spot 3 words related to food today? Or can I copy that movie line perfectly? Keeps it light, less like a chore.
Right. And tech, AI and stuff.
Oh yeah, lots of tools now. Chatbots for simple conversation practice without fear of judgment.
That's a good point.
AI translation to quickly check if you understood something right. Speech recognition apps to get feedback on pronunciation. Even dictation, speaking your text instead of typing, uses different skills.
Lots of options there. What about mistakes? We all make them.
The lazy approach is embrace them silently. Notice them, sure. Oops, I think I said that wrong. But don't dwell. Don't let it stop you.
Why silently?
Because your brain learns from exposure to the correct forms, too. Just keep listening, keep noticing. The correction often happens subconsciously over time. The key is just to keep showing up, mistakes and all.
Okay, less self-criticism. And that point about motivation versus momentum, that really struck me.
Yeah, motivation's fickle, right? It comes and goes. Waiting for motivation means you might wait forever.
True.
Momentum is different. It's built by small, consistent actions. Even 3 minutes a day, every day, builds momentum. It creates a habit loop that's much more reliable than waiting for inspiration to strike.
So lazy learning isn't really lazy at all, is it? It's strategic.
It's smart. Saving energy, reducing pressure, integrating learning naturally, building habits. That's efficient.
So quick recap of that lazy blueprint again.
Sure. Morning. Tiny bit of listening. Maybe repeat something. 5-10 minutes. Afternoon. Optional scroll. Watch a clip. Read a post. Passive stuff. Evening. Enjoy something. Show, music, comic. Maybe whisper a few words or write one sentence. 10-15 minutes. Flexible. Low pressure.
And for speaking fear, those baby steps.
Start super small. Whisper practice. Just getting used to making the sounds. Voice notes to yourself.
Okay.
Then maybe talk to an AI chatbot. Try repeating lines from conversations you hear. Shadowing. Low stakes. Gradual exposure. Consistency over bravery, almost.
Building that English lifestyle slowly and lazily.
Change device language. English captions on everything. Find your hobbies in English recipes, gaming tutorials, workout videos. Try thinking simple thoughts in English. Label stuff around your house with sticky notes, maybe. Create your little English bubble, even for short bits of time.
Are there common mistakes lazy learners should avoid? Besides doing literally nothing.
Yeah, doing nothing consistently is the main one. Also, ignoring enjoyment. If it's not fun, you won't stick with it. Being too scared of mistakes that you don't try anything.
Right.
Comparing yourself constantly to others. Everyone's journey is different. And trying to rush it. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Consistency beats intensity.
Makes sense. It really comes back to falling in love with the process, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Connect English to things you're passionate about. See it as a tool to explore, to connect with people, with ideas. Celebrate those tiny wins, noticing a word, understanding a joke. Be patient. Find the joy.
Wow. Okay, so wrapping this up. The big message here is that learning English doesn't have to be this huge, painful struggle.
Not at all. It can be something that fits into your life, feels relatively easy, even enjoyable, through these small, consistent, smart actions.
It's redefining lazy as, well, smart and sustainable, finding what works for you.
Precisely. It's about that long-term integration, not short bursts of stressful effort.
So maybe the question for you listening is, what's one small, almost effortless, lazy step you could try today? Just one thing to nudge a little more English into your world. Because maybe the smartest path is the one that feels easiest to walk consistently.
Thanks for watching Dive English Zone. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, drop a comment below, and hit that subscribe button so you won't miss any of our upcoming lessons. See you in the next one.